Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So my level of like giving a shit when it comes to my outer appearance is at an all-time low today. So I'm channeling like my inner Samantha Ravindal and I'm just wearing my boyfriend's hoodie. So I'm jumping on camera today to finally use the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 palette. I haven't even touched this, so I wanted this video to be a true first impressions. I want you guys to see how it goes with me, and then hopefully I will be able to come up with a pretty look. I've been very inspired by everything that I've seen so far, campaign photos, other people using the palette. I was on vacation, so like I feel like I'm one of the last people to review this and test this out, but this was one of those palettes that I saw and I knew that I needed it just for my own personal collection because it is neutral AF and that's my vibe. Neutrals like this are what I go for just in my daily life, so I felt like I needed this palette. So if you want to see me test it out, hopefully come up with a pretty kind of smoky eye, I have an idea in the back of my head, then please give this video a thumbs up for me and just keep on watching. So before I dive in, I have my order pulled up. I did order this on the launch day. It's a $48 palette, but with shipping and tax I ended up paying $58.27, so it is pretty pricey. I'm hoping it's going to be worth it. I have popped it open a few times, but I have not touched it, so I will swatch it when I'm done with the makeup look, and you guys will see swatches, but I don't want to touch it until I have actually started doing my makeup. And that reminds me, I kind of want to get a picture of this before I dig into it, so I'm going to go hop off camera and take a photo, and then let's jump into the tutorial. So I'm sure by now you guys have all seen this palette, but I do want to give you a close-up before I dip my brushes and fingers into this. I do think it has a really cool layout. It is divided by finish and color story. So you have mattes, sequins, metallics, and glitters, and then the color stories are memory, ritual, story, soothe, aura, and poet. So I mentioned this in a couple previous videos, but I have lash extensions on right now, so that's the only thing that kind of makes my life a little bit difficult when it comes to doing eyeshadow, but I'm gonna do my best to avoid them and still come up with a pretty look here. I'm just so torn about what kind of look I want to do because there's just so many beautiful colors in here, and I have been kind of sticking to the more like natural sheer looks, and I don't know if you guys are liking it or not. So part of me wants to just go hard and do like a black kind of smoky eye. I guess it could go south, but there's no harm in trying because that's some of what I've seen online. It's some of the prettiest looks I've seen are with the blacks, which is like super risky, but I kind of want to go for it. But I do need to prime my eyes, so I have the Anastasia eye primer with me. I'm gonna prime my eyes on camera. I typically do it off camera, but I just want you guys to see every step that I'm taking here. So I'm just picking up some eye primer on a Sigma cream color brush. So crazy, but I want to make sure I'm properly primed, especially if we're using black eyeshadow. The thing is, it's like pretty obvious that I can do everyday, very simple glam looks with this, but I did want to kind of go out of my comfort zone with this video, which sucks because my first instinct is to do something neutral with the textured neutrals, and it's going to be neutral, but it's going to be a smoky black eye look. So what I'm going to do now that I'm primed is go in with my Sigma E25. It's a white haired blending brush, and I'm going to put the most skin toned matte shade all over my lid so that things can blend together nicely, and that would be the matte shade out of the Aura color story. So this is pretty much not going to show up, it's just setting the primer. It's right along the same color as my primed eyelids anyways. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but there is quite a bit of fallout when it comes to that first matte shade. I'm most excited for the sequin texture because it's almost like a matte shadow with glitter within it, which is one of my favorite things, especially in low lighting situations. It's going to be beautiful when I show the look on like Snapchat and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that sequin memory shade. But I don't want this to be completely like stark black, so I think what I'm going to do is a very light crease color of the matte Soothe color. It's like a brown shade. I just don't want to dip right into the black. I'm a little nervous for that. So I'm going to give myself a crease here before we get brave. This is going to make it so that I don't go, hopefully, don't go too high up to the brow, which can tend to happen with dark shades. Kind of get lost in the blending. So in my experience, there are two ways to do a black smoky eye. You can either start by packing it on the lid and then blend it into the crease, or you can blend it into the crease and then fill in the lid. What I think works best for me personally is packing it on the lid first and then blending out the crease. That helps me kind of not go too high up with the eye look. So what I'm doing is taking a smaller version of the brush I just used. It's the E27 Detail Blending from Sigma, and this is what I'm going to pack the black matte shade onto my lid with. That way I can kind of do a packing and blending motion all in one. I just dropped it on its face. They're all on my floor right now, like upside down. I can't believe they all like came out of their pans. I'm gonna salvage this to the best of my ability and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was completely tragic. I only had one shadow that was a complete loss. The rest of them I popped back in, but I did pop them back in the wrong spots before I checked the actual layout of the palette, and now I can't get them back out. So I have a messed up color story. Like I accidentally put the reds and the bronzes in the wrong slots, but the only complete loss was a bronze metallic, I believe. So it's not too bad that happened, but now my palette is completely out of order except for the black row. So we're going to continue on with the black eyeshadow tutorial. That does completely suck though. They are like lightly magnetized, so they all fell out of the palette. So they're not glued in there, so just be aware of that. If you drop it and it's open, they're probably all gonna fall out. Ooh, that has not happened in a long time. Now I'm sweating. But I'm dipping in with the E27 smaller white blending brush, and I'm gonna go in with the matte black, and we're gonna start packing the shadow onto the lid. I'm like scared to use this for the mirror now because I feel like these things are gonna fall out, but I'm just gonna hope for the best. So I'm picking this up. There is, again, a little bit of fallout, kind of a lot of fallout, so I'm a little worried that this is gonna go onto my face makeup. So I'm going to gently start packing because I really don't want to get this on my face. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to powder underneath my eyes because that's how much I like my face makeup today. Okay, so now that I look crazy and I have bake all over, I'm just going to start working with this because I just really didn't want to mess up my face. And there's a lot of fallout with this black. So we're just going to tap. I can't believe I'm like one of the last people to review this and I drop it on its face and ruin the palette completely. This is a very, very pigmented black shadow. With pigment though comes that fallout, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of pickup. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia Beverly Hills formula. Willing to bet there's black shadow all over my floor, and I'm gonna have really interesting looking bottoms of my feet. So now I'm gonna take a clean, firm blending brush now that that's like loosely packed on my lid, and I'm just going to start to blend the edge of that shade. I don't want to have too heavy of a hand here. I'm just trying to let the brush do its work. It is blending, but it is also removing some pigment while it blends, so I will have to kind of go back in probably a few times. Going back in with the E27 and a little bit more black, I'm going to pack and also blend more black shadow. So first packing and then blending. I'm not having like the easiest time ever with the blending, but it's getting there. And it's a lot better than some black shadows I've used, that's for sure. It's just a little bit of skipping over here. I don't know if it's because my eyelid wrinkles in such a way. So going back in with the E25, the bigger blending brush, I'm going to take a little bit of Aura and a little bit of the Soothe matte shades and very lightly blend the top edge of the black. So you know what, when I went in with these two matte shades very lightly, we're getting a pretty good blend. And I think if these were any other shades in the palette, I'd have no issue at all. It's simply because I just went right into the black that it's taking a bit longer than usual. So for my moment here, I'm really sad because I shattered my palette, but I think this is gonna do it for me. I'm gonna pick up the Sequin Black shade. I'm just using a detailed diffused crease brush from Sigma. It's the E33. I'm just gonna pick it up very gently and tap it over the lid. So just a little tap. Oh, the fallout, you guys. The pickup, I don't know. The pickup is crazy. I haven't watched anybody's review of this palette, so I don't know how people are liking it or disliking it. So I'm gonna tap the Sequin shade. This is something I don't know if you guys are gonna see on camera because it's just a faint glitter within the matte itself. Just a very pretty dusting. And like I said, I feel like the sequin shades are gonna show up in low light or flash and just be like a nice topper to any look. Once the sequin shade is on, I'm just gonna give a nice once over to the crease. And then I can finally dust away this crazy bake. All right, so I just had to fix my whole face of makeup. If you guys have made this mistake before, then you know what I'm talking about. But the black shadow got like on my nose and it made it look like I had blackheads. It got on my upper lip and made it look like I had a mustache, and it got mixed in with my blush. So I did my best to fix all of that. Hopefully I did fix it. And I also added mascara to my lower lash line, and I don't feel like I need eyeliner. I thought I would because of my lashes, but I don't think I need it. I actually really like the look. It's hard to be mad at the palette for the fallout because I just shouldn't have done my face makeup first. I should definitely do that second. So that's a learning experience, but I guess it is good to know and tell you guys that there is a lot of fallout with the mattes and also the sequins. So what I'm gonna do now is just take a little bit of that matte Aura shade and I want to add it to my inner corner. This is just going to be a matte inner corner highlight to kind of lighten that area up because there is a little bit of residue from the black shadow. I do want to keep this look on, so I just want to fix it and make it as wearable as I can. So this is a good brightener shade. Like even if you wear this with a neutral nude look, this is a really pretty matte inner corner highlight. So that was my first time using the Textured Neutrals Volume 1 palette from Tati Beauty, and obviously I shattered the entire thing, popped all the pans out, and they're out of order. I can do my best to swatch this for you guys and show you how they swatch on an arm. So I will do that, but I can't promise that things are in order because I don't think they are, and there's no names or anything on the back of the eyeshadows. I mean, I can't control what happened, and I feel like it's not the palette's fault, but it definitely is something to keep in mind. I don't think they all should have popped out like that. It's not like it's marketed to be a removable or Z palette kind of thing. So I am a little sad because I love the quality of this. I love this palette, and like, you guys know how I am. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and just seeing my busted up Tati Beauty palette is just breaking my heart. But I have to say I'm happy with this look. I'm overall happy with the palette. There are some negatives like the fallout and the magnetic pans and me just being clumsy and shattering it. But I hope that this video was helpful for you guys regardless, and I hope that you like the look that I kind of came up with. If you did purchase this, I think it's a really pretty kind of date night look to go for. I mean, it's really simple. I only used a few shadows and everything did end up blending really nicely together. So I do think it's going to be super easy to work with when it comes to all of the other colors. I feel like I tried to go in with the hardest shades. I think this is going to be a really good go-to neutral palette. So if you guys are into it, I think it's approved by me. But that is going to be it for today's video. And for those of you who are wondering, I did purchase the Jeffree Star Conspiracy palette with Shane Dawson. It just has not arrived yet, so my review will be later than everyone else's. If you guys did like this video, then please give it a thumbs up for me and let me know in the comments below if you did pick this up, if you're liking it, if any of you have had any mishaps with any makeup recently. Go ahead and share your stories down below. But if you don't want to miss out on future content, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified of future uploads, and hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.